The decade's first major is officially here as the 2020 Australian Open draw was just released. First, we're looking at the women's side as Serena, Simona, Barty, and more look to take the Daphne Akhurst Trophy from defending champ Naomi Osaka. I'll preview the tourney, giving you an in-depth breakdown of the draw with all the early round popcorn matches, and eventually give you my prediction of who I believe will win here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today. Number 1 seeded Ash Barty will first face Ukraine's Lesia Sarenko, followed by Rebecca Pedersen, Elina Rybakina, and Petra Martic. In the quarters, she's projected to face Petra Kvitova, in the semis Osaka or Serena, and in the finals Pliskova or Halep. Number 2 seed Pliskova has a much tougher road to the finals, first playing French woman Kristina Mladenovic. After possibly playing American Coco Vandeweghe, she may face Pavlyuchenkova in the third round and Kerber in the fourth. In the quarters is Svitolina or Burton, and in the semis is Halep or Bencic. Should she reach the final, she will most likely meet Barty, Osaka, or Serena. Looking at the top half of the draw, we first have Barty's mini section that she shares with Petra Martic. Barty should honestly get through her first round against Sarenko with little trouble, as the Ukrainian hasn't won a match since August due to elbow problems. Rebecca Pedersen could pose some problems if she's on, but so far in 2020 she hasn't been all there. Her projected third round opponent Rybakina, though just winning Hobart, doesn't have the game to truly trouble the world number 1. Barty could potentially face her Wimbledon conqueror Alison Riske in the fourth round, but Riske may have to get through Petra Martic in the third. Though Martic really hasn't made any noise thus far this year, she seems to know how to show up for the slam, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her make the second week as well. I feel that the Croatian has a tough first rounder against an informed, consistent Christina Mikhail, so she needs to be cognizant of this and be on her toes. Additionally, unseeded Yulia Gerges is a dangerous floater that could potentially do a lot of damage in this section. I predict Barty and Riske to meet in the fourth round and believe the Aussie will avenge her Wimbledon loss and reach the last 8. The next mini section is Kvitova and Keys. At the top, we have an intriguing first round matchup against Madison and Daria Kasatkina. The young Russian hasn't been herself in a long while, so I don't see her pulling off the upset. Brisbane finalist Keys has much more confidence, and I see her getting to the third round with relative ease. Now, should Greek Maria Sakkari meet her there, I feel like life will be tough for the American, as Sakkari's steady, consistent play may cause the tendency to unravel. On the bottom half, there's defending finalist Petra Kvitova with a potentially tricky first round against countrywoman Katerina Siniakova. Besides this, she should get through to the fourth round with relative ease, despite hard-hitting Russian Ekaterina Alexandrova being a third-round opponent. I predict Keys and Kvitova will meet in the fourth round, with Keys beating the Czech woman in a rematch of their Brisbane semifinal match. This third mini-section is jam-packed with Americans and is headed by none other than defending champion Naomi Osaka. Judging from her Toronto run, Maria Bouzkova has the game to trouble the Japanese woman, but she struggled to recapture this magic since then, so I don't see her doing much damage. We also have the eye-opening Wimbledon rematch between Coco Gauff and Venus Williams, which is hard for me to predict the outcome of. On one hand, I know Venus will be down to get some revenge over the 15-year-old, but I'm unsure of how she'll perform due to her pulling out of 2 lead-up tourneys from hip injury. It's a close one to call, but due to her preparation and youth, I see Gauff taking this one. Sloane Stephens and Sofia Kenin are on a collision course to meet at the third round, but I don't see the former making it, as quite frankly she's been playing horrendously for the last 6 months. If she doesn't fall in the first round, Sloane will most likely lose to either Sam Stosur or Katie McNally. I predict Kenin and Osaka will meet in the round of 16, being a rematch of their Brisbane Classic. Should this match entail, I'm telling you now it's going to be epic, and I'm calling for the upset in favor of Kenin. I say this because there's going to be a chip on Sawyer's shoulder losing their last match, and the fearless American will look to take it to the defending champ and knock her out. The final mini section of the top half is led by Serena Williams, and she'll first face off against 18-year-old Russian Anastasia Potapova. I think in comparison to her contemporaries, Serena's section is relatively easy, as there's nobody really that can challenge her until the fourth round. Jo Konta is a possible fourth round opponent, but I don't see that happening, as the Brit has virtually no momentum, not winning a single match since the US Open. I feel like content will fall early, and we should be focusing on the potential Wozniacki and Jastrzemska second round match. Though Wozniacki showing at Auckland was impressive, I can't help but feel that Ukrainian Diana Yastremska will be the career closer for the Dane. Yastremska's form so far has been very impressive, which is why I see the Adelaide finalists making the 4th round to face off against Serena. The two met last year in Melbourne in the 3rd round, with Williams easily taking care of the 19-year-old with ease. Should they meet again this time around, things won't be as simple for the American, because Diana has a newfound moxie and partnering with Sasha Bayan, so she'll definitely be more prepared to face the 23-time Grand Slam champ. Still, I feel like Serena will get through this section by winning the 4th round match in 3 sets. The first section of the bottom half is headlined by Belinda Bencic and Arya Sabalenka. It also includes 2 Grand Slam champions in Elina Ostapenko and Maria Sharapova. Ostapenko, who finished the year really strong, is a threat to Bencic, and if they meet in the 2nd round, I do in fact see her beating out the Swiss. Another hard hitter, Arya Sabalenka, would be a threat as well, should she get by Carla Suarez Navarro in the opening round. Another popcorn match in the section is Maria Sharapova vs Donna Beckett, which crazily enough, I picked Sharapova to win. Maria, though low in match wins, knows how to step it up for these big matches against higher ranked players. Beckett, though high in confidence and match wins, doesn't really have any big weapons to trouble Sharapova. Should the Russian make it through that match and meet Sabalenka in the 3rd, I picked the Belarusian to win not only the match, but the entire section. The next section is Simona Halep's, and to be quite honest, it's not easy for her at all. Her 1st round match against Jennifer Brady will be an intense battle, telling you right now, and I'm actually predicting Brady to pull off the upset. She nearly did it at the Rogers Cup last year, proving she has the game to beat the world number 4. Danielle Collins also has the potential to beat Halep and go far, looking at her great form heading into Melbourne. Because of this, I'm going out on a limb and picking Collins to take this section. I'm not talking too much about the players in the top half because aside from Kristina Pliskova and Heather Watson, none of these ladies have done anything noticeable so far this season. In the next section, there's Elina Svitolina and Kiki Burton, but I don't predict either woman to advance to the quarters. Although I am surprised with Burton's form in Brisbane, she hasn't shown up in the slams in a long time, so I see young American Amanda Anisimova taking this one. Yes, Elina Svitolina is the top seed, but her dismal Brisbane performance tells me she isn't quite yet ready to take her first major. If she doesn't fall early, I predict her to lose to Garbiñe Muguruza in the 3rd round. In the last section, Pliskova has a nightmare draw, first having to beat Fed Cup champion Kristina Mladenovic. Though Mladenovic doesn't currently have a boatload of confidence, she's still very dangerous and will challenge the world number 2. Laura Siegemund is also very much in form, and her tricky game also has the possibility of upsetting the Czech woman. Keeping it as blunt as possible, I don't see Pliskova making it through this section at all. She has an incredibly difficult draw, and though she's high on confidence from winning Brisbane, I still see her as slamless player by the end of the fortnight. Fellow Czech and Roland Garros finalist Marketa Vondrousova is actually my pick to make it through this section, as she's back to playing good tennis and is injury free. She'll potentially have to get by 2 major champs Kuznetsova and Kerber, but neither player is coming into the slam with much confidence. We have another intriguing first round matchup between Auckland singles finalist Jessica Pegula and Auckland doubles champ Taylor Townsend. This is such an underrated match and is definitely one to look out for. Speaking of matches to look out for, here's my list of popcorn first round matches to keep an eye on. Going back to my predictions, here are my picks for the top half, and I do have Serena coming through to her 9th Aussie Open final. I see her getting by a tough quarterfinal match in either Kenin or Osaka before beating world number 1 Barty in the semis. When a healthy, confident Serena is playing well into the slams, it's really more within her control if she'll go deep, which she almost always does. The bottom half is much more of a wild card, as I do predict that both Halep and Pliskova will fall early. Instead, I pick Amanda Anisimova and Aryna Sabalenka to make it through to the last 4, with the latter winning to reach the finals. Women's tennis is never easy to predict, and though a lot of things need to happen for this to be a possibility, I believe Serena and Sabalenka will meet for the first time in the decade's first slam final. Before Auckland, it would be easy to predict Serena underperforming, giving another young player their first major, but this title I feel will help her immensely in these title matches. I'm not going to go too far in depth with these potential matchups because they are predictions, but I'm going to go with Serena for the win at number 24. That's it for the Australian Open Women's Preview, and tell me whether you agree with my picks and predictions in the comment section below. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post new content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.